So we have a 96 Subaru Sambar. This is a classic. That's what the front end is. So they call it classic because, you know, obviously it looks like a 50s or whatever they did with that. This one is here because the customer said that years ago it stopped accelerating, or it had trouble accelerating. So they parked it, and that was 2.5 years ago or so. The battery is obviously dead. Fuel, 2.5-year-old fuel, I'm not going to trust it. This is one thing where I'm going to walk you through how I diagnosed the problem and what we found while we were doing it. And for those of you, it is a Sambar, not a sand bar. This one is a rear engine. The Sambars are the only K vehicle that is a 4-cylinder. So we have actually 4 cylinders. This is still a 660cc engine, so the cylinders are, you know, itty bitty. When we got it, I wanted to know if it would just run or if we had a bigger problem somewhere. We checked the battery, completely dead. We knew the fuel was going to be bad. We took off the air filter, sprayed some starting fluid in, cranked it. It ran only with the starting fluid, and then it wouldn't run with the old fuel. So we got a new battery. We got new fuel. I'm going to show you where all that is, because not fuel, not fuel. This is actually the gas tank on this. That's where you fill up. And then under this seat where's that? Is the battery. So we got the little battery there. This is actually something that I think they're starting to do now. We were able to get the mini terminal battery in town. It's not a special order. Literally, it was at the store. So I'm excited to see them starting to stock the batteries that are meant for Japanese cars, because these little tiny terminals are not US. And before, we would have had to cut this off, replace it with a new style one, and then get a battery that fit this dimension and put it in, which, you know, is possible, but it's not as easy as just, hey, that one fits, done. We did that. It started on its own after pulling out 5.5 gallons of bad gas and putting in 4.5 gallons of new gas. It started, we turned it off, and then we just wanted to look it over because we weren't 100% sure what was going on with it. We took off the radiator cap to look, and it actually burped out at us. Now, I put the funnel on, and I have some video of that. I have never seen this before. It started creating a film across the top of it. I actually took my screwdriver through it just to show the film that it was, and you could see the bubbles getting caught inside of this film like one of those 90s bubble toys for kids, you know? The coolant was like muddy colored. It's one of those things where that color tells me that there's just a bunch of rust in it, and whatever's going on with the fluid in that funnel, I don't know if someone put an additive in it. I don't know if someone put head gasket stuff in there. I'm going to see if we can get it with the mic. So that wasn't my knuckles or anything. That was the hose crunching. I did let it idle, and that's where the video with the crap in the coolant happened. But it was like an hour to an hour and a half of it idling. Never overheated, never had a problem. Everything worked. Spark plugs didn't look great. We looked in there because I was thinking head gasket. We pressurized this system, nothing leaked. The pressure held. It does have some oil leaks throughout. We recommended that stuff. After I was looking at everything and after the coolant scare and all that stuff, I was like, you know what? Let me go drive that. So we're actually going to go drive it, and I'm going to show you what happened. So like I said, it starts nice now, which these are fuel injected, not only being 4-cylinder, but it's a 96, it's fuel injected. So it starts and runs with new fuel and new gas. So engine's not kaputs, you know. We're going to show you the problem, but we're also going to show you the cause. So the little gauge down there, we'll probably have Steve hold it for you. That's fuel pressure. So we're looking at the fuel pressure coming from the pump into the fuel rail. And this thing, once you get above 5 miles an hour, it falls on its face and it will not accelerate. It almost dies. And then if you just leave it off the gas, it'll come back to idling, and then you can move again once it slows down enough. So I'm going to show you that. This is also a CVT from the 90s, which being a CVT from the 90s, that means that I'm off the gas or the brake pedal, I'm not on the gas pedal, and we ain't moving. It's like a scooter. It needs some gas to be able to move. So this is all acting normal and everything seems like, okay, well, I don't know what this lady's complaining about, you know, not blaming the customer, just it's not doing anything wrong. And I was like, all right, well, we're just going to drive over here. You're like, okay, this isn't bad. We're going to accelerate. Oh, it's happy right now. Maybe it's got to get warm. Because I will say the last few times that I drove it, it had been running a little bit before that. I wonder how warm it has to be. Because it is cold. Just turning the AC on because it's warm out and I'm going to wait until coolant temp goes up because honestly I never drove it with it cold. So 35 is like idle and then it goes up when you do acceleration. Right. But while we were doing it, it literally would drop to 10 and it would just start going down. There was one time yesterday where it revved fine, but it didn't have load on it, so I didn't know what that was about. Well, I don't know why it's not doing it right now. I mean, 'tis electrical, so most likely once it gets too hot or something like that, it'll start to have problems. And when it's not too hot, it doesn't have problems. You know, this is like going to the doctor, right? You take your dog to the vet. Now the dog's fine. I'm trying to show you guys what happened. Now it's fine. I'm a liar. All right, let's go see. If we can show you what it does. Oh, there it is. There it is. Yep. See, now I'm on the gas. Now I'm off the gas. Oh, we'll turn the AC off because I'm sure that didn't help. Oh, we're not in park. There we go. So fuel pressure, right? Yep. Now we're going to put it in drive. We're going to start accelerating. And then it starts running out of fuel because the pump's no longer pushing. And then I get off the gas. Fuel pressure stables out a little bit. We can go again for a little bit. And then fuel pressure dies down, let go. Yeah, it starts to build back up.
Yeah, it's not going up any higher. 12 right now.
Yeah, so essentially the fuel pump is now too hot to work. So I'm just gonna get back to the shop, but we're gonna have a video on replacing all of this stuff. It's just locating and ordering and all that other stuff. But yeah, so that's, yeah, once it gets hot.
Now you did it.
Yeah, fucking, all right. So.
I'm going
All right, Steve's done, I'm done. Thanks for watching, subscribe, do that stuff, and you'll get to see us fix this thing. If you have a similar problem with one of your K vehicles, look into fuel pressure. There, up the hill. Ah, we made it up the hill. Yay, it broke. One of those moments of, you know, am I lying? Do I know what I'm talking about? Maybe.
It's supposed to only do that when you give it back to the customer.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. Once I'm like, no, it's not happening. And then the customer goes to drive away, instant happens. That's how it works.